this is Joe McLean, and the presentation that we have for you today is credit cards for bad credit. Now, we obviously know that people have bad credit for whatever reason, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. Just like our website is credit cards for bad credit, not badpeople.com. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story here in a minute, and how we're going to do this today is it's going to be a back and forth interview, and it's going to give you all the information. By the end of this presentation, we'll be able to give you the resources to the best credit cards that you can get for people that have bad credit. And you'll learn a little bit in a little bit. My situation was very bad, very horrible. And if I can get credit cards, then I'm sure that you can get credit cards with your situation. Okay, so the first question is,
what is the purpose of this book?
Okay, the purpose of this book is to obviously show you, if you have bad credit or somebody you know has bad credit, how they can go out and get these credit cards. And for whatever reason, maybe you just need a credit card because it's difficult to do business without one. You can't rent a hotel room, you can't get a rental car, that type of thing. Or maybe, like in my case, I wanted to use it to start rebuilding my credit. So I went out, found the best credit cards for people with bad credit, and then started using that to build up my credit, so I could get loans and that type of thing.
Tell us your story.
Okay. What happened to me is I had a business, a real estate business, and had very excellent credit. We had over 10 houses on our credit, and one of them was our own home. We had 2 car loans. We had multiple credit cards with high limits, $10,000, $20,000 limits or more. And we even had an American Express card that had no limit. And how that worked is, you charge stuff on it, and the next month you just had to pay it off. So very good credit. We could sign our name and get money at the bank. And then with our real estate business, it went bankrupt. We had all of our homes foreclosed on. Even the home that we lived in was foreclosed on. We had our cars repossessed, which all of this is extremely bad for your credit. And if you've went through it, you know how embarrassing and horrible it can be and how detrimental to your credit it is. We became delinquent on all of our credit cards and basically totally ruined our credit. We ended up filing bankruptcy, and in the bankruptcy, we discharged over $1 million of debt. So if your situation is not as bad as what you're hearing right now, then chances are that we can really help you get credit cards and reestablish your credit.
What is the first step to getting back on your feet?
Okay, the first step is once everything happened with that, then we actually lost our cars, so we had to go find a way to get another car. We didn't have any cash, so we went to a buy here, pay here lot, and we was able to buy a car that way. Now, that does not help your credit at all because most buy here, pay here lots do not report to credit agencies. Now, some might, so if you're in that situation, you might want to check that out. But usually, if you're making the payment straight to the car lot, then you're definitely not improving your credit at all. So really, the first step for what I did is I started searching for different credit cards, and maybe you've been through this too. Is you're at a store and they say, well, if you sign up for our credit card, you get 10% off, 20% off. So you think, well, maybe I'll get it. Who knows? And it's really embarrassing to actually be turned down by a store credit card because most people view that as like one of the easiest credit cards to get. I mean, they're giving away, there's a way to, people that are just kids, barely turning 18. So that was our first step as we was looking around for ways to start reestablishing our credit and getting a credit card. Well, we were denied, and I never really worked hard on it. But then we started searching online because it's just embarrassing to physically apply for credit at different places in front of people. It's a lot easier to get on a website and apply for a credit card or credit right then online. And if you go over to our website, which is, like I said at the beginning, credit cards for bad credit, not badpeople.com, you'll see a little bit more about us. We'll talk more about specific credit cards that you can start out with. So let me go back a little bit to the real estate business that we had before. And in that real estate business, we worked a little bit with people to help them reestablish their credit, fix bad credit, because then we would then get them to the place where they could go buy a house from us. So it worked out really well for us and for the people that we was trying to sell them a house. So we did know a little bit about credit repair. So it wasn't completely, brand new to this, trying to reestablish our credit. But it's a lot different when you're working on your own credit after going through a horrible situation, because you're a lot more emotional about it and emotionally tied to it. So it almost feels like, you're starting over brand new, not really knowing nothing about credit. But we did know some, and we finally, once we got past the emotional hard part of it, we got online and we started searching for credit cards that were specifically for people with bad credit. And like I said, over on our website, we detail some of the credit cards. And here in a few minutes, I'm going to go over some of the exact credit cards that are the best for us at the date of this publishing. But credit card companies change, and credit card companies, what we found is some of them have credit cards for people with good credit, and then they have programs for people with bad credit. So, I'm going to show you a few here in a minute, but that doesn't say, at the date of this publishing, it was good. But maybe 6 months down the road, a couple years down the road, it's not the best credit card out there. So you have to keep checking up with you have to go check out our website to see the most updated credit cards for people with bad credit. So that's pretty much where we started. We started searching online. We found out, after being denied and finally approved, we figured out, some of the best credit cards for people with bad credit.
Joe, what is a secured credit card?
Okay, and actually where I had to start was with a secured credit card. And what a secured credit card is you have to pay a sort of like a deposit up front. And usually they're right around $250 to $300. So you have to send in $250, that's for an example, $250 to the credit card company. And then they approve you for their credit card, and the limit is the amount that you sent in, so $250. And you might be thinking, well, what's the point? I got $250, I might as well just go use that instead of getting the credit card. Well, it's very useful. And here's why. And this is where I had to start. Like I explained, my situation was horrible. I had horrible credit. Now, I'm assuming your situation is not as horrible as mine, but it may be, and you may have to start here first. So you send in the $250, and they send you the credit card, and you use that credit card like you would any credit card. You buy things with it, and your limit is $250, so you don't want to go over that limit, definitely. And then, you have a minimum payment on it like you would any other credit card. But the thing it does is it starts establishing your credit. It reports to the credit agencies, which is the important thing. Now, after, you definitely want to make the payment on this on time, early even, and you don't want to completely run it up to the max, the $250 in this example. You want to, it wouldn't hurt to run it up, at least 50% or so, and pay it completely off, and then start using it for minor purchases and paying it off every month. What that's doing is it's showing the credit card company and everybody that looks at your credit report that, hey, you are being responsible with the new credit that you have. And all they know about you is your credit report. They don't know that you went through a bad situation. They don't know, that you fell in hard times and now your situation's better. All they know is you had really bad credit where we didn't pay bills, we got cars repoed, we got houses foreclosed on, and now they see you with this credit card, and all they have to go on is what you did in the past. But if you start showing them that, hey, I got this new credit card, I'm in a better situation, I'm paying the payment on it, I'm using it responsibly, then that increases your credit score. And what I'm looking at is probably 3 to 6 months of doing that. Then you can start applying for credit cards that are not secured, that are unsecured credit card. And that's the normal credit card that everybody thinks of when they think of a credit card, is the unsecured card. So you might be able to go out and apply and get a $300 or $500 credit card after using the secured credit card for a few months. So it's very important, if your credit situation is very bad, say maybe close to what mine was, then you may have to start out with a secured credit card.